Peace, peace, spiritual girlies. It's Natasha, your fellow spiritual girly here at the Spiritual Girly Covenant. Okay, y'all already know what it is. It is Wednesday, and you know every week, every Wednesday, we do our energy reading. Okay, this is where we tap in with the divine sacred source energy to get that message, that confirmation, that warning, that sign, whatever it is that spirit or the divine sacred source energy or the universe or the great mother or God wants us to know, we will know. Ashe, I have the ability, I've been gifted with the ability to read energy immediately, okay? I'm damn near psychic. I read energy in people, situations, environment, practically everything. So I am here to give you a collective reading, all right? Strictly for the spiritual girlies, Ashe. So if you here, thank you so much. Thank you for tuning in, and shout out to my new members. I appreciate you guys so much for joining. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, y'all know I like to start with my chakra cards just to kind of check the energy centers, Ashe. And we know the divine sacred source energy likes to speak through us through signs, symbols, and synchronicities. So let's tap into it. Ooh, Ashe. Acknowledge spirit. So I pulled the 6th chakra card, which represents the 3rd eye chakra, okay? And it is in resonance with acknowledging spirit, the divine sacred source energy, the great mother, okay? What some of us like to call the universe. I trust in a higher source, and I acknowledge my direct connection with it. In the stillness, I listen for the wisdom inside, and I am open to the spirituality that is within and all around me. I know that love is the creative force. I meditate and welcome mystical truths. I am open to seeking guidance in my spiritual quest from a spiritual teacher, master, or guru, Ashe, which we all are spiritual gurus, Ashe. So that is spirit telling you to acknowledge spirit in all that you do. What is the message that you have for the collective spiritual girlies? The sun. The sun. Okay? The sun card is representative of just showing up fully, showing up and being seen, but also showing up no matter what. Focusing on your greater gifts and abilities. The sun is going to shine whether the moon comes out or not. The sun is going to shine whether the stars come out or not. The sun is going to shine. And what that means is no matter what is happening, the sun is definitely going to show up. The sun card is also a representation of some of you who are not fully stepping into what you're being called to do. You got the downloads, you got the hunches, you got the nudges, and spirit is literally tugging on you, trying to pull you up out of your solitude, your isolation, trying to pull you up out of your fear of being seen. No, baby, no. Okay, do you not understand that we're in this 999 energy still? It's lingering. Okay, we are still in this ecliptic energy that will be here for a few weeks. And what that simply means is those old timelines where you hide, where you don't be seen, where you're not giving your testimony. And what I mean by giving your testimony is you're being called to either share your story, right? Whatever that may be, or be of service through your natural talents, gifts, and abilities, and you're not doing it. Somebody needs you. Somebody needs you. And the divine sacred source energy is saying, show up and be like the sun. Don't worry about what else is going on. Don't worry about if such and such, if this will happen. Do it. And start with what you have, okay? Start with where you are and what you have and perfect it along the way. But again, the sun energy is a bright, shining energy. It is an illuminating energy. It is a warmth and loving energy, Ashe. And everyone sees it. Everyone sees the sun when it's out. So stop being afraid, spiritual girly. If you needed a message, if you needed a confirmation, if you needed to be affirmed, baby, you have to show up. We are living in those times where your gifts are literally going to carry you. Okay? Your God-given gifts are going to carry you, because you have to understand, with these cycles ending, including the Babylon that we live in, including the matrix that we live in, that cycle is crumbling. That cycle is ending. Okay, so with this new cycle, you need to be creating more of a timeline that is in resonance with your true soul. Ashe? All right, Spirit, Divine Sacred Source Energy. Give us some examples of being like the sun. Being like the sun. Being like the sun. You got to explore different avenues. What I'm getting is, when it comes to the Explorer card in reference to the sun, is you got to start dabbling in the things that you are maybe afraid of, maybe fearful of. Maybe you have an issue with public speaking. Maybe you have an issue with being seen on camera. Maybe you have an issue with feeling like you don't have the personality. Start small. Find a way to explore what works for you in the communicating, in the creating processes of your abilities, of your talents, of your gifts, of your being of services. Ashe. So with the Explorer card, you're being called to explore different avenues outside of your 9 to 5. You're being called to explore different avenues outside of your whatever it is you're doing at this time that you've been doing that isn't really working for you, that you're surviving with. You're being called to step out and explore what it's like to have your own hustle, to have your own side business, to have your own gifts, where the universe can naturally pay you for being you. You're being called to explore different pathways of creating and existing and thriving in this physical matrix, in this physical construct. Okay? You're also being called to explore physically in the aspects of traveling. Those of you who feel like you're not getting the love, the support, what you need in your city, move. We live in a big ass world. Get you a numerology reading by a professional and get assistance on what are the best places for you to live, for you to thrive. I know for me personally, Dallas, Texas was in my numerology chart. Okay, it is in my makeup, in my DNA, Ashe. And where am I? In Texas, Ashe. So you're being called in this new timeline, all right? Because again, we're new timeline. That means we're not doing the old things we used to do to get by. You're being called to explore different ways of existing, different ways of thriving, different ways of being creative, different ways of earning, different ways of creating your world. Ashe? Ashe. So that's what I got for my spiritual girlies today. Okay? Take what resonates, leave the rest. But hopefully this message hits home for a lot of you spiritual girlies, and hopefully it won't fall on deaf ears. Hopefully you'll put something into place, something into practice. You'll use this energy to create what you desire. Ashe, I love you. Peace.